Howdy, y'all.
Hi, guys.
It's Ryan
And Angela.
from RNA Music.
That's right.
Your favorite mom and pop music lesson studio and occasional guitar shop deep in the heart of Texas. We're back.
Yes, we are.
Back again.
Oh, Lord Jesus, help me,
my
Father.
Lord. Oh, my Lord.
Lord.
Squeaky chair and everything. So,
Yes.
let's get to it. All right, we are here with episode 319.
As far as we know.
As far as we know, of ASK RNA with the lovely Angela and ruggedly handsome Ryan. We're going to answer questions from people all over the world
People all over the world.
about music and guitars and stuff and things.
Yes.
So we have a little guitar shop and music lesson studio in a small town in East Texas, down home kind of place. And
Yes.
we are back. We've missed you guys.
I know.
It's been like 2 weeks.
It has.
I don't think we've ever missed 2 weeks in a row of Ask RNA. I don't think we've missed a week. Maybe we did, way back.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think we did. I think we've done it like maybe twice in the history of our
Yeah, so we got sick.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what we had because YouTube will demonetize you.
Yes.
They don't like that word.
Yes.
We had
We had the sick.
we had the sicky sick.
Capital S.
The capital sickness.
The
We were
capital
down with the
suck sick.
sickness.
The suck sick.
And as Angela's parents were also down with the sickness.
Yes.
And your two sisters.
And two of my sisters. The whole family got hit, except for our boys.
Except for our children.
They were fine.
So everybody was down with the sickness.
We were laughing because we're like, it like hit a mountain on our boys and just slid right off.
Bounced right
It
off.
just didn't stick.
Yeah, they're so tall they don't catch the nasty air.
Yeah, exactly.
They're breathing air way up here.
Yes.
We're breathing air, where normal people live. That's why they didn't get it. That's why they didn't get it. So, so we've been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or 3, I don't even know.
Yeah, it feels like, yeah.
But we're back. Luckily, Angela and I had relatively mild symptoms, comparatively, compared to the rest of our family.
Correct.
Where it got a little scary.
Got a little scary there
scary,
for mom
it
and
did.
dad. Yeah.
And
it did.
I want to thank a few people. Walking Dead, number 1, reached out. I was like, hey, so
What's going on?
there wasn't a video last week. You guys okay? And
Yeah.
a couple of the RNA faithful on our Instagram messaged me privately on the RNA Instagram. I was like, hey, you guys all right? There wasn't a video last week or this week.
We weren't all right.
Yeah, we were not.
We were not
all right.
Yes. You okay?
Hold on. Yeah, I need
Need a little swiggy swig of the...
Yeah, I need a little swiggy swig of the Dr. Pepper Zero calorie.
Yeah. Not sponsored.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yet.
One day.
That'd be awesome.
One day we'll be sponsored by
Dr.
Dr.
Pepper.
Pepper. So if you're wondering where we've been for the last 2 weeks,
That's where we've
we've been at home washing our tights.
Yes.
So, but we're back now. Praise the Lord.
Ready to answer your
Ready
wonderful questions.
To answer the questions. Okay, so let's get to it. First question, Adam says, how backed up is CMG after the new CNC issues? I ordered in March. Chris has been very friendly and helpful so far, but I don't want to keep bugging him with emails about my new #CMG Ashley, and I figured maybe you had some inside info or not. I'm not mad or upset or anything, just so excited. #yes vlog.
Yes.
There was a lot of yes vlogs.
Oh, yeah.
#KTV. Okay, Adam. So I talked to Chris like after I saw this question, I guess last week, and I was like, we should probably shoot some videos.
We should probably
Maybe we can do it from the house. Maybe we can film a video.
We were not having it.
No.
I was not having it.
So currently, I have 3 custom CMGs on order for RNA Music for customers.
For customers, yes.
Adam being one, and 2 other guys have CMGs on order. And what year is it? What month is it?
Oh gosh, it is September.
We're in 2021, September.
Yeah.
So earlier this year, CMG, they got a new CNC machine. They're upgrading, getting new CNC machine because you're pumping out the guitars. They're super busy.
I mean, awesome.
So they ordered a CNC machine, which is, by the way, not cheap, significant investment. And apparently when they got the CNC machine in, there were issues with it. And so then they're having to contact the manufacturer of the CNC machine, which, you know, you can't just pick those things up and move them around. It's a fairly significant piece of equipment.
It probably has very intricate engineering that goes with it.
So they've been dealing with, you know, getting some stuff resolved with the CNC, and I think there's a different kind of program or something, whatever. Anyway, it's been an ordeal, and after Chris has told me about it over the last several months, he's like, oh man, I was like, I get it, man. It's probably a nightmare for you because they are already backed up. They were already like 6 months back on orders. If you order a CMG, it's about a 6-month wait time just because they have so many orders. And I don't know what the new CNC is going to do, but before the new CNC, it was essentially, they only like shipped like maybe 2 guitars, 1 to 2 a week.
Right.
That's of output, you know. Now it takes several weeks and weeks and weeks to from start a blank block of wood to a completed guitar. So the CNC machine issues has put a serious kink in some of their stuff. And but Chris said, I think this week right now there should be cutting bodies. Like everything should be resolved either this week right now or possibly next week. Because I asked him, I was like, hey man, so what's the ETA on our RNA music guitars? Because we have 3. Or he's like, I'll probably start seeing them maybe end of September and beginning of October. Now I don't know whose that is, Adam. I don't remember
the order.
The order of if you were number 3 of the 2 or you were number 2 or what. So I don't remember. I have to go look it up. So, but they should be kicking guitars out this month or next month. Okay. So, when I have more firm dates for my 3 custom order people, I will contact you and let you know. And, you know, I appreciate you being patient. I'm sure Chris appreciates you too, because I've talked to him and I'm like, I get it, man. I'm sure it's a freaking nightmare for someone who's like, they build a guitar. They don't build CNC machines. They build guitars. Right. And when you get that machine in, and if there's something funky, that's a whole thing. But they are, they should be pumping them out, and they should be even better than they've ever been. Chris has tweaked a few things, had to go through, redo all the CNC files, blah, blah, blah.
That's one thing about Chris, is he's very laser visioned. Yeah. And whenever he gets something, he wants it to be excellent. So I can see him really making sure all the bells and whistles and everything is going exactly as smoothly as possible. So
yeah, so they should be cranking out here pretty soon, and you guys will see the guitars are going to come here. One of the guys is here in Texas, which is great. I think the other 2 I have to ship. Yeah. But they'll come here. I'll do an unboxing, demo, all that sort of stuff, and we'll get them out to the customers. And one of them's, you know, they're all cool, but one of them is like really kind of particularly nifty. So there you go, Adam. Hope that answers your question. I don't have any more information than Chris, but that's the latest information I have. Thank you for the question. Next question, Mr. Wilson with the P-Base, #YesVlog. I miss Walmart cart cam. You're not the only one. Paul says he did. Sorry, Angela. Comment of the day is the best segment so far. You gotta keep going. I too am a Gibson hater, and I have one, a Thunderbird bass. Question, what is the best diner in your town? What's good there? #KTMA. Okay.
Are you coming to visit?
Ooh. Probably at some point. Best diner in our town.
Best diner. We only have one technical diner, and that's Down Home Cafe right here on the corner.
I guess that is correct.
Yes, that's the only that I think of as a diner. We have a couple of like coffee shops. And
if you came to visit us, we would not take you to eat at Down Home Cafe, though. Like even though Deion Sanders from the Dallas Cowboys eats there sometimes.
Yeah, so yeah, one of the former Dallas Cowboys does frequent there because I think he lives on this highway that comes into town. Time. So this would be one of the first restaurants he sees when he comes into town. So, but yeah, I would think Down Home would be the one. I've only eaten there 3 times because the best, I think their meals are breakfast. That's their big thing is breakfast. But I would probably say for me personally, I would say Dairy Palace. Or Dairy Palace. Like what Ike so lovingly referred to it as. Butter Palace.
From Flipside Music in Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
That Ike.
Yes, that Ike. I didn't want to go into all that, but yeah, that Ike.
He calls it Butter Palace, but it's called Dairy Palace.
It is Dairy Palace, like Dairy Queen if you're in America, and especially in the southern states.
What's bigger than a queen? A palace.
Yeah, the place where she resides. So it's family owned and operated. It's not a chain. It's just here in our town, and that's the only one we have, and it's right on the highway.
And they have diner kind of food.
And they have like diner type food. So
and ice cream.
Burgers, ice cream.
Breakfast 24 hours a day.
Not anymore.
Well, it used to be before the
sickness.
Sick.
Now,
before the sickness.
Now they close at midnight, unfortunately, because of slow staff here in the States.
Apparently nobody wants to work. All the restaurants are like, we need to hire some people. Sorry, we got to close. We got to close.
Yeah.
They're open less hours because there's not enough employees.
Yeah. So, but that's what I would say would be the best.
Dairy Palace.
What's good here, Jerry's, which we haven't had in like a year or.
I think me and the boys had some.
Oh.
Not in the last couple of weeks, obviously.
But. So it would be Jerry's.
Yeah,
I was going to do something.
Me and boys going to get some Jerry's. Jerry's Pizza.
Jerry's Pizza is probably one of the best
El Primo.
here in town. And then I would probably say, yeah.
If you want a steak, go to Easley's Steakhouse.
Right,
it's literally right down the street from us. Freaking fantastic steaks.
100%. Great people, great atmosphere, total country. They have their own beef.
Their own cows.
Yeah, it's Easley Steaks, like Easley's Steaks.
Easily the best steaks.
Easily the best steak. And yeah, that's what I would say, probably. Most of our restaurants here in town are family owned and operated.
There's some chain. There's like McDonald's and stuff.
Yeah, we have but it's not half and half. It's literally mostly. It seems like it's mostly hometown.
So there you go, Mr. Wilson with a P base. If you come to Canton, Texas, Dairy Palace, Jerry's Pizza, Easley's Steakhouse.
Yep.
Next question. Jack the Rabbit. I watch ASK RNA because you guys put your music students' best interests first. Yeah, it's true you own a musical instrument store, but there's no marketing hype with you guys. Thank you for keeping it real and being honest with your audience and students. Thank you for not being sellouts. I had to read all of that because I was like, oh man.
That's so nice.
That really warmed my
beard.
My beard. It really did. Question for next time. It seems to me that American culture, specifically in music, has been systematically dumbed down incrementally over the last 50 or 60 years. We went from celebrating jazz to now celebrating whatever Cardi B is.
Yeah.
I guess it's safe to call it prostitute rap. Ho rap.
Yep.
Do you believe American culture will ever celebrate true art, music, and craftsmanship again? Or will we just continue down this dirty, empty road we're on? This should have been the comment of the day.
I know, I could have sang all
Dirty, empty road. Do you feel Cardi B and Lil Nas X are doing a good job of keeping kids interested in music?
Oh, dear God.
What do you see from your students that gives you hope for the future of music? Thanks and peace. Hashtag semi-truck. Hashtag yes vlog. Woo! Now, okay.
That's loaded.
There's a lot going on with that question.
Okay.
Interestingly, I watched Rick Beato talk about this because Rick is, a real musician, was a jazz professor in college and all that sort of stuff. And he's talking about, our music is stupid. Like nowadays, like if you even go back to the 70s, just the chord progressions and the melodies and the complexity of our popular music, like the stuff on the radio, was way more complex in the 70s. And in the 80s, it kind of got
It was dumb in the 50s. Let's just be very, very clear that Lollipop, Lollipop, oh lolly, lollipop was not very intellectually stimulating. Let's just be very clear.
Well, yes.
Mr. Sandman, all of those songs.
There was a bunch of bubblegum crap in the 50s.
The 50s was like the dumbest, downest, because I think, honestly, because they just came off of war.
Yeah.
And
they wanted to be happy.
They wanted to be happy.
Thoughtful, reflective. Like, we don't need to reflect on anything right now.
No. I think they wanted just, speed racers and like fun and just bubblegum, poppy, and all of the songs, even like the folk songs of that day, were all just very generic and
even if you think of it, the poppy stuff from the 40s was not. super sophisticated. Even though jazz existed and classical music existed, and people would go to
but
the
you had like
opera.
Benny Goodmans back then. Yeah. So you had these very, very, very talented.
50s, everybody did kind of go stupid.
In the 40s, and then all of a sudden it was like.
And then like the 60s, in the 60s and 70s, things got a little more complex.
It started, they started. I think they started the industry started pumping in the 60s, where there wasn't really an industry. It was mostly like performance at clubs and stuff like that, where television took hold, and then you had an industry where then the 60s came along and you had record labels where it was like an actual industry. So
I think it's cyclical. Obviously, and pop music has been getting less and less and less and less musically complex as you're going along.
Right.
However, there's still subgenres and offshoots of music that is fairly complex. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like metal. Like if you're into metal, there's a lot of metal stuff that's like, dude, that's some stuff. There's some crazy stuff going on.
A very intelligent,
Yeah, it's not now. It's not what gets played on the radio or is on top 40 stuff. Right, top 40 stuff is very
what sells, crap. What's quick and easy flash money.
Yeah. But I feel like there will always be a place for like fine art. Mm-hmm. There will always be whether the population as a whole ever appreciates it. There's going to be pockets of people who do appreciate it, and I think as each generation comes up, everybody kind of pines for the past and like the good old days. And remember there was what was it in the 90s where like swing music sort of had a resurgence.
Yes, it did.
And there was a couple of years where like, oh, let's go back to this swingy stuff. Big bands and that kind of stuff.
And crooning. A lot of crooners came out during that time. Mm-hmm.
I don't think Cardi B and Lil Nas are doing anything good for music personally.
I think they're of the devil.
I think they're Satan.
Yes.
They're not doing it. As far as our students, what are your students? So, I just had one of my students, a young lady who learned to play Stairway.
Yes.
It was one of her dreams to learn Stairway, and she did.
Right.
This last week, she was like, "Hey, can you teach me War Pigs by Black Sabbath?" And I'm like, "Yes, I can do that." She's like, "Oh, that's my favorite Black Sabbath song." I'm like, "You're like 14 and a girl, and like wants to learn Sabbath
in the country. You live in the country
in Texas, in East Texas,
own cattle."
Texas. And I have other students. A lot of students. It's kind of funny. I only have like 2 that are like, "Hey, can we learn this country song?"
Yeah.
Which is super odd. You would think out here everybody would be like Texas country, red dirt
all the time.
I really only have 2.
Yeah, I have 2 that love country music, and both of them love older country. Like, and when I say older country, I'm not talking about like Hank Williams, like the 40s and 50s, gold country, like Patsy Cline and stuff. But I'm talking about like 80s, 90s country. Yeah. To them, it is very old country.
It is.
George Strait.
30, 40 years ago.
Yes, they like George Strait, the Judds, Reba McEntire, stuff like that. So I have 2 students that really like that. For the most part, almost all my students, it seems that their parents are our age.
Yeah.
And they love the 80s and 90s music. They really just love it. Like today, we were doing Billy Joel.
We
didn't start the fire. She was just so excited that it was only like 4 chords.
Yeah.
Like it's very basic.
It's not complex.
4 chords. And so she was really excited that she could walk away from just one lesson, and I mean very, very basic on her level at the time.
Kind of watered down
and learn, can walk away and actually strum through a few chords. So we don't really see a lot of, and I tell kids honestly, I do. I don't know if he does. I tell them, I will not teach you this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. Don't ask me. Don't even bring it up, because that music is not going to get played in here. You don't need to listen to it. And I'll tell them straight up. They're like, why? I said, because it's filth, and it won't help you mentally, emotionally, socially, relationally. It won't help you. So no, I'm not going to contribute to that. And they just kind of look at me like, wow. Because I don't think they've ever heard like an adult say something like that.
That's garbage.
In their life, it's so culturally okay that in their parents, like, because of course they're a couple of their parents are younger than we are, or they're very immature. And so they listen to that junk, and they allow their children to listen to that junk. But I make sure that I let them know straight up because I ask them, what are some music? What music are you interested in? And I said, but let me let you know that I will not have you sing, because I'm not going to put a kid up on stage and sing something like that from those two artists.
Something nasty.
Never will.
Or provocative.
Never will. I'd rather lose you as a student than have that filth.
It's safer to sing Megadeth songs than Metallica songs.
And that is
100%.
Those
Black Sabbath
100%. I'd rather
more
you do
kid-friendly.
AC/DC or Kiss than Cardi B.
Kiss is not great, but
no.
Better than
but
Cardi.
even like some Aerosmith songs are raunchy, but not as raunchy as Cardi B.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'd rather sing "Love in an Elevator" than something than Cardi B songs or Little Nas X. So that's about how we, and I think honestly the hope of our music of the future really relies on the generation that tries to make sure that kids hear that music.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I think that the hope of our future for the music for our children is hinged on those who expose those kids to that music. So as long as we are exposing children, the next generation, to that music, they're going to appreciate it and love it and understand that, wow, that was really cool. That was back then. It was like, yeah, it was awesome. Even in the 80s, some bands in the 70s, some bands in the 60s, even 40s music, even some 50s music. There's a lot of good stuff out there. So keeping it.
I think we are keeping the music alive, and I'm always shocked. It's kind of funny when kids come in like, "Hey, I had one the other day. It's like, what's that Nirvana song? The really popular one." I was like, "Teen Spirit." And they're like, "Yeah, can you show me how to play that?" I'm like, "Yes."
Yes, super easy.
Because there's like I heard a cool version of it where it was his voice. So it's some digitized version where it was his voice slowed down and clean and like just doing the melody. He said he couldn't get it out of his head. I was like, well, yeah, let me show you. It's not a hard song. We're talking about rhythmically complex. It's not as predictable. It's not 1-4-5 minor 6 G C D E minor strum. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit more to that. There's more to that than there is to Texas country.
Right.
Honestly, but I'm just shocked that I have a lot of kids come in. They'll ask me stuff.
Yeah.
Like stuff that I learned 30 years ago. They're like, do you know how to play Inner Sandman? Yes, I do. Do you want to learn that? Yes, I do. Yes, I will. Or the amount of young ladies, 13-year-old girls, are like, can you show me how to play Stairway to Heaven? I'm like, yes.
Yeah. All day.
Right now, we're doing this. We were going to do something else.
Everything.
But now we're doing this.
The train has been stopped at this station called Awesome.
Yeah. We have a rule at RNA Music. It's called More Stairway.
Yes.
Not no Stairway.
All day.
Every other music store sucks because they're like, don't play that here. I'm like, play that here and play it more. More Stairway. We're going to have a sign made. I always say that. There's going to be a sign at RNA Music that says More Stairway because it's freaking awesome. Thank you for the question, Jack. What do you guys and girls out there think? Ladies and gentlemen. We have an older audience. Ladies and gentlemen, not guys and girls. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about the future of music and the current state of music? And tell us down below what you think. Next question. Fat philosopher all the way from Japan.
Yeah.
This is freaking awesome.
Yep.
Says hashtag yes, vlog, or no vlog.
Yes.
Who in your family do you think had the highest IQ and why? Oh, that's a rough question.
Ryan. He has the highest IQ.
Oh, man. I'll see. What I was going to do was like, let's split between your family and my family.
Oh.
And I'm going to say, in my family, I think I have the highest. That's super arrogant to say that. And I was like, how am I going to answer this question, honestly, without looking like a douche?
The douche.
The douche.
Yeah, I think Ryan has the highest IQ in his whole entire family, including ours. I'm smart, don't get me wrong, but I do not have a high IQ. I know that for sure.
No, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I do.
You are extremely smart.
You're so sweet.
No.
You're sweet.
You think I would be with a dum-dum?
I didn't say I was dumb. I just don't think I have a high IQ. That's not mean dumb.
You do. You're very smart.
That's just like, you're so pretty. It's like, Or like the whole like losing weight was like, I didn't say, it's like, I need to lose weight. No, you're pretty the way you are. I was like, I didn't say I was ugly. I just said I need to lose weight. It's like, I didn't say I was dumb. I just said don't have the highest IQ out of us.
You know, I don't remember if I've ever taken a test. Maybe I think when we were in California, in Hollywood, like you go, hey, come take an IQ test. I think it was a Scientology thing to get you sucked in.
Oh, I bet.
You go and take, but I don't think we got our scores. But I've always done really well academically in school without trying very hard. Well, we'll get to that. Without trying very hard, I always make really good grades without even studying very much. I got a little bit lazy at a certain point, and then my grades went from like straight A's to like A's and B's because I didn't like doing homework. And I always did great on standardized tests. Like I think I graduated like somewhere in the middle of my class. But my like ACT, SAT scores were like top of the class, you know. I mean, so I always tested pretty well. And my, you know, like my sisters, I have two sisters. They both have been to college and graduated college, so they're not nobody in my family's dumb.
No.
Nobody's dumb.
No. Again, that doesn't mean dumb.
Right.
It just means highest IQ.
But I am probably. I can't, it's hard to say. I'm glad you said it first. Because I just feel kind of bad saying that. Now, let's talk about emotional IQ. Right? Because emotional IQ, EIQ, you're off the Chizarts with like, when somebody walks in the room, she just can read their mail. She knows what's up. We've been in situations so many times with like work situations or church situations or staff meetings or things or people, and she's like, I know what's about to happen, this is what's going on. I'm like, what are you talking about? Girl, that's whatever. And then it's like, oh wow, you were right. 100%. It's freaky. Like freaky. And everything you do is art. Like everything I've ever seen her set out to do, to learn, she just learns it. Like, I'm like, how? We have a joke. It's like, I'm like, what is it like to be amazing at freaking everything? And you say...
Tiring.
Exhausting. Exhausting is the word she says. Exhausting. Like, she never knew how to crochet, then a couple years ago, I think I'll learn to crochet. And now she makes friggin', like, you know, stuffed animals, creatures.
That's not a big deal.
Well, I tried to crochet. It was difficult for me.
It's a different type of brain.
It's a different type of skill set. But everything you've ever done, and even with music stuff, I've shown you stuff musically, and you're like, oh, like this? I'm like, yeah, like that.
But my brain's getting too full now, and so now it's just like tired and kind of just putting around. So
in your family, your parents, sisters, cousins, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I think you're definitely the smartest.
I don't know. We have some pretty stinking smart people in my family. Like, I don't know.
Not that any of them are dumb.
No, a lot of them just don't have a lot of motivation, but they are extremely smart. Like all of them.
Zero common sense. So, you know, it's great. You should book smarts and
This is a very sticky conversation to have.
That's a true.
Anyway,
he asked this question because he wanted to see some people fight. He wanted to see a fight.
He's like over there in Japan just eating like his popcorn. Like that meme of Michael Jackson.
They're going to be fighting later. Poke the bear. Smack the beehive. So.
Yes. No,
Thank you for the question, though.
Yeah. Definitely Ryan, I would say, because things like the way he sees and book smart and being able to regurgitate information and hold conversations and all this stuff, and him being able to remember all the details of every guitar, pedal, everything. Like he just absorbs it like a sponge and can recite it. And I'm just like, a square.
But you remember every song you've ever heard. Like, you have an amazing memory. Your memory is much better than mine on a lot of things.
Yeah, but mine's like useless memory. Like, useless stuff, knowledge. That's what's unfortunate.
The lyrics, the facts of life.
My street is like a little cobblestone street that goes up a winding mountain that leads to this little gift shop that sells like cheap bears. Yours is like an actual highway that goes to like ports and destinations to be where people actually want to go.
I think you're overhyping me. Anyways.
Hey, who knows people? What'd you say?
That you do know people.
I'm a kid.
All right. All right.
Just saying.
Thank you, Fat Philosopher, I guess. Who's the smartest person in y'all's family? Tell us below. I hope everybody says me. I hope everybody says them.
Themselves. Yes.
Yourself. Mr. Fat Philosopher, you're the high IQ in your family. Unless it's your wife. And that's always possible. Wives are usually smart. Yeah. Mr. LD with the next question. Ryan, what happens when you play your Hellraiser in church? I rock. That's
the
what
demons flee.
Yeah.
He raises hell.
Nobody knows that I'm playing a Hellraiser except for Pete. A barber named Pete.
And me.
My guy. And Angela. She's like, hey, you playing Hellraiser.
Yeah, but
it says Hellraiser.
Honestly, don't care.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody notices.
I actually don't.
Nobody's home.
I actually don't usually play my Hellraisers that much in church.
Yeah.
I will usually use like one of my PRSs, or I usually use my custom shop Washburn Idol.
You've used the Ocho, haven't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The custom shop Washburn. The Ocho, I've used the Ocho a lot because it has passive pickups. The EMGs, like my Hellraisers all have EMGs, obviously, and those are great for rocking. Yeah. But I do a lot of clean playing, and I want like no overdrive on there. So a lot of times I'll use a guitar that doesn't have EMGs. Although sometimes I'll use my CMG Custom, which has the 5766 in it, and that's fine. But the Hellraisers have the 81, 89, and I just feel like for the type and style of music we play, generally, the passive pickups a little bit better because it's less like hard rocking or even mild rocking. Right. Sometimes we rock it, but yeah. So I don't actually play them a lot in church, but I do sometimes. Every now and then I will. So thank you for the question, Mr. LD. And now it's time for comment of the day. When we saw y'all 2 or 3 weeks ago, we're like, well, we might not do this anymore because Angela's kind of tired of singing it. But everybody's like, no, it's our favorite part of the whole stinking 40-minute video now. So, comment of the day. Oh, and special. We're gonna do something different today.
Are you gonna play?
No, because you're gonna play.
I thought you were gonna play.
Oh, am I? Show me the chords real quick.
G.
Okay.
Sorry.
Because I'm like
G.
It's gonna be ukulele.
Yes.
Weird.
G.
What was the A minor?
A minor is just that top string.
Oh yeah.
And then the F and yeah.
I wanted to go to like a real G.
That's like
crap.
a D.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm not really the ukulele player that Angela is. I thought you were gonna play.
I wanted to see you play it. I think it's cute. I love it.
I have mine.
And then F is there. There you go.
So I have my own chords that I play. I don't know what they are.
So that was like
I'm gonna play
C
those.
minor, C7.
No, yeah, 7. Dominant 7.
Yeah, minor is this one.
Which one?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, no, I gotta go. Sorry.
Yeah, you have to go down. There you go. You're gonna get us demonetized.
No, I won't.
Sounds like a harp.
Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna ukulele. Comment of the day. I'm gonna play some chords, and Angela's gonna sing.
Okay. At the best she can.
The best she can.
Okay.
We have not rehearsed this at all.
Oh, that's cute.
It's my favorite thing to play on ukulele.
Thomas, I like my robo-tuners.
Sorry. Missed my chord.
Okay, here we go. Oh gosh, here we go. Thomas, I like my robo-tuners much, so I have everything as it is. I don't know, I lost it. I lost the tune.
Smiley face.
Smiley face with sunglasses. I like my robo-tuners much, so I leave every That's
Comment of the day. Thomas, I like my robo tuners much, so I leave everything as it is. Thank you, Thomas. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Next question, tactical six string, hashtag yes vlog. So what are your thoughts on the Fender Europe price fixing scandal? Honestly, I haven't really figured out what exactly happened, but it seems as though MAP is similar practice here in good old US of A, or do I have the story wrong? I don't know, tactical six string. I saw this question, I think, when it popped up, but then life got sick. And I actually haven't gone and researched that. I feel like, without going actually Googling it, probably like in the United States, we do have something called MAP pricing, which is the minimum advertised pricing, which is set by the manufacturers. So Fender guitars, let's say I'm a Fender dealer, which I'm not. Which I ain't, or probably won't be. So Fender... I'm a Fender dealer, and they go, okay, here's these Fender Squires or Strats or whatever. We're going to sell it to you for this price. The retail is $1,000. Retail price is $1,000. Now, your minimum price that you're allowed to advertise this for on radio or print media, like catalogs, you know, commercials, anywhere that's a printed advertised in the newspaper. Hey, listen, retail's $1,000. You can advertise it for $700. Do not advertise it for cheaper than that. So what they're trying to do is keep it like a level, a fair playing field. Because what happens is you get these giant retailers like Sweetwater or Guitar Center, or
tons of inventory,
right? Who have bajillions of dollars, who can buy the stuff in, and for them, you know, they will sell it sometimes at lower prices, smaller profit margins, and that kind of like sticks it to the mom and pop or the independent dealers. Stick it to the mandiosis. And so the point behind the minimum advertised pricing policies is to sort of keep a level playing field for all the dealers. Otherwise, you get some random dealer out here who's like, we're just going to sell these and make a buck off of every one, which is terrible because you can't do that. Eventually, you'll go out of business. You know, and it's kind of screws everybody else, right? Which happens. So now, you're not allowed to advertise in print media that you can buy this guitar here for $500.
Right.
Retail's $1,000, MAP is $700, and you're like, screw you guys, I'm gonna sell for $500. Come on down. Now, you're allowed to sell it for $500. Like, if someone comes in the store and is like, hey, what's the best price in that guitar? Like, tell you what, I'll give you $500. And you can lose money if you want to.
Yep.
Like, I'm allowed to sell any guitar in my shop for whatever price I want to sell it for. If I want to give it away for free and completely lose a crap load of money, I can do that. If I want to sell it for $2, I can do that. We're not doing that. Because you go into business to make money, not lose money. Right. Losing money, in case you don't know, losing money in business is a bad thing. You should not do that. You should make money. Just like when you go to work, you got to get paid. Don't work for free. Get paid at your job. Just do that. So in advertising, like in the media places, they want you to, here's the cheapest you can advertise this for.
Yes.
Now, of course, you can sell it for whatever you want. You can sell it for a loss if you want to. You just can't advertise in public that you're going to sell these super cheap.
Right.
And the idea behind that, in America at least anyways, is just somewhat keep a level playing field amongst the really big stores, the medium-sized stores, the small stores, and the little bitty stores, right?
Right.
Kind of make it fair. I mean, it's not fair.
Right.
Because the big companies if they're going to spend $1 million with Fender, Fender's going to give them a really good price. If I spend $10,000 with Fender, they're not giving me the same price that they're giving Guitar Center. Guitar Center's buying this guitar for $500. I'm buying it for $650. You know, we're both selling them for $800 or whatever. That's random numbers, by the way. That's not
random
numbers.
Random.
But that's the idea. The bigger the companies, the more volume you buy, the better pricing you get.
Yes.
And yet we still have to all sell at the same.
Yes.
So the smaller, medium stores get less when they can sell the guitar for the same price as Guitar Center. But the mom and pop independents,
it's going to be less for less.
They're going to make you as the customer. It's the same price for you, but for the dealers, one dealer's making way more money than the other dealer. And so they try to keep it fair.
And that's capitalism.
And I'm assuming in Europe or England or wherever,
which is a lot like cannibalism.
They probably tried something similar, but probably the consumer protection laws in Europe are different. I think they're fairly intense. You know, the consumers have a lot of protections and rights in Europe and England and places like that. So I'm assuming Fender probably was trying to do something like a map thing, which is completely normal and it's what we do in America. They probably try that over there, and over there it's probably a violation of some of consumer laws. Is my guess. I don't know. So, you know, I don't know. That's on Fender.
That's a long answer.
That's on Fender. They should have done the research for the laws.
Yeah.
I really have no sympathy for Fender.
None.
Screw those guys. Because they, just like Gibson sues the crap out of little companies and try to put them out of business, Fender sues the crap out of people and puts little businesses out all the time. You just don't hear about it. And they don't make videos on their YouTube channel, hey, we're going to screw all y'all. Fender's smarter about it because they don't advertise the fact that they're effing little companies.
Yes.
Gibson's like, we're going to F all y'all.
All right, Elvis.
Well, get fired up. The big giant corporate companies don't give a crap about anything but profit margins.
Yes. Well, that's just, you know, how it is.
We got to make money.
Law.
Everybody should have profit
margins.
That's just
the law of the world.
Anyways, that's what I think about it. Thank you for the question. Title six string screens. Next question, Midnight Wind, #YesVlog. So apparently we're going to be going back to doing vlogs. I just like hanging with you guys. Plan on getting down there someday. Are you planning on chopping the top on the Nash? Between you and me, I hope not. Never liked that being done to old vintage artifacts in our society's past. Now you can paint it up like a circus wagon, but that's not a permanent thing. I did not see this on Instagram. It's the RNA eliminator though. Good luck with that. It's going to take more than any of us can imagine to do it well. What a cool heirloom. I wonder if the restoration could count as a tax write-off. Best of luck on that. Can't wait to see it. Okay. So in the last episode of Ask RNA, if you go back 3 weeks ago and watch, we talked about I inherited a car from it was really my great-grandfather's car. I always thought it was my grandfather's car, 1936 Nash Lafayette. And it's going to be a project car. Yes, I definitely understand it's going to take a long time. My good friend Pete, that I've talked about, Pete, a barber named Pete, for like 18 years was a professional vintage hot rod car restorer guy. Like this is what he did for a living for like 18 years, was like take these old cars and completely rebuild them from the ground up. I mean,
like
talking about
doozies.
$500,000, $1.5 million. I asked him one time, I was like, what was the most expensive car y'all ever did? He's like, $2.5 million. I was like, holy crap. Who has $2.5 million to rebuild an old car? Well, apparently there are people who do.
Capitalism.
Yeah, and he said it's you know, you never get your money back.
Of course
you
not.
know, it's an emotional thing. It's my
it's
granddad's car.
Art. It's like art.
So I know a guy, a good friend of mine that I play with every week, guitar and stuff, and who's kind of going to be I'm going to lean on him to be like, hey Pete, so what do I do next? And he's like, well, first thing I do is going to rip out all the interior. Because that's going to have to happen anyways. And then, you know, and he told me it's quite an extensive thing. You know, getting it running, you know, and getting the interior redone is kind of one thing. He said like the paint and the auto body stuff can be like, he's like, we can get it running and drivable and not looking pretty, but you know, but no, I'm not planning on like chopping the top or doing anything crazy like that. I would prefer to kind of keep it
aesthetically,
you know,
in the same era as it
is,
as much as possible.
Yeah. Now, Pete did tell me, you know, yeah, you're better off like putting a Ford suspension under it and then dropping a Chevy engine in it. Like rebuilding the old straight inline 6 Nash engine could be a headache, and the suspension and all those sort of things. The body could be the same. So the outside of it looks 1936, but you would maybe want to modernize the suspension and the drivetrain and the steering and all that stuff. So I'm not really sure. My uncle would want me to like restore it back to factory spec from 36, but I don't think that's a practical idea. So, but I'm not gonna like chop the top or slam it and do anything crazy cray with it. So I would like to take it back to, you know, fairly close to, you know, looking like a Nash from then. Maybe cooler wheels, you know, possibly some cool wheels, but we're not gonna We're not going to chop the top. That's not going to happen. Or do suicide doors or anything crazy like that. So, thank you for the question, Midnight Wind.
Suicide doors would be awesome. Though.
Actually, where are we going to go? Some Lamborghini doors.
No. That's dumb.
Suicide doors are.
I guess I do have the highest IQ.
Dang.
Suicide doors would make more sense for that era.
It would, actually. That Tommy gun, we get
yes.
it.
Oh. They're able to go with all the family photos that I want to do.
We should do that. Thank you for the question, Midnight Wind. Next question, Big John.
Big Bad John.
Who also just got over the sicky sick.
Yes, he did.
Glad you're better, Big John. Hashtag yes vlog. So vlogs. Hi Ryan and Angela, this is for both of you. Is there a difference between a hobby and a passion? And is it possible to have too many hobbies or passions? Y'all have a lovely week. I don't think it's possible to have too many hobbies or passions. Yeah, I think you can have as many as you want.
Yeah.
And you may not be able to get real deep into all of them.
Yeah. And some of them will come and go as in seasons.
Yeah.
Like I like paint by number, but right now I don't have time to sit and do a paint by number. And I like crocheting, obviously. But I don't have a lot of time to sit and crochet anymore. I did start a very elaborate project, and it's just kind of sitting over because the sick pushed it in his bag. And I love to paint on canvas. I love to collect journals and draw and write and little things that I just pick up here and there. But what are some of your hobbies? You don't really have any hobbies other than guitar.
I'm fairly obsessed with guitar.
Yeah. I was going to say, you don't really have other hobbies. And I like to garden. I like to get out in the yard. And
I like to shoot guns.
Yeah.
I mean, shockingly.
That's not really a hobby. That's more like a passion.
Is it?
I would call
What's the difference between a hobby and a passion? That was the real question.
A hobby is something like you tinker with, I think. It's more of like tinkering.
It's casual. A hobby is casual.
And a passion is something that you invest in. Like a passion is something like, I'm going to invest, like crocheting for a while was my passion. Like I wanted to invest in it. I got the right hooks. I listened to the right people. And I wanted to get
deep dive
into it. Yeah. And to the point where it became, almost like an income thing. That's a passion to me. Like this is a passion for you.
Well, yeah.
So this is like, it could be a hobby for some people, and people who have it as hobbies come to us. But this is our passion. Teaching music is a passion because we are fully invested. Our mind, our time, our life is fully invested.
I even said that this morning because our sons are on quarantine with us. Obviously, they didn't get sick, but they were in, they couldn't go to work. Or our oldest couldn't go to work, and so he had to go back to work after we were out. And he was like, ugh, yeah, freaking going back to work. He wasn't excited to go back to work. Whereas I'm like, I'm happy to be back.
I know.
I'm happy to be teaching lessons. I'm like, oh my god.
Kids walk in, it's just like, oh my gosh,
I love
I'm
what
so
I
happy
do.
to see you.
I'm like, let's learn something. I'm like, oh, thank God, we're back. Like I did not dread coming back to work at RNA Music at all. I was like, I'm happy to be back. So I think that's a good point. A hobby can be very casual. A passion is very all-consuming.
Yep.
I like video games. Does video games count as a hobby?
That's a hobby.
Hobby.
Yeah.
But I do play some games.
You do. And you invest a lot of time into it, but it's more like it's something fun that you can think, oh,
it's a distraction.
Yeah.
It's a distraction.
That's another thing.
What it is.
There you go. That's another thing. Like Netflix and chill.
Yeah. Do like guns. Thank you for the question, Big John. What are some of you guys' passions and hobbies? Tell us down below. I would love to see.
That would be interesting
to see from you guys and girls.
Show.
What your passions and hobbies are, and what's your career? What's your day job? That would be interesting. What is your day job, and what is your passion, and what are some hobbies? Tell us down below.
Yeah.
Next question, Jeffrey Egan. What marathons do you always watch when they're on TV? For me, it's always Star Wars, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, and the Marvel movies, especially Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, we never. I don't casually just turn on the TV and there's a marathon going.
Yeah, we don't have regular television.
Yeah. Now we will do our own marathons.
Yes.
Like, hey boys, come on in. It's the Lord of the Rings time.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings is usually it. When it comes to...
That's a long...
Like, something we'll actually, like, invest in, watch all of them.
Yeah.
I've done Jurassic Park on my own. Ryan's not a big Jurassic Park fan. So, I mean, he watches them, but not like I will watch them.
Yeah.
We both will watch Star Wars, but here lately it hasn't been a Star Wars life for us. So
Disney ruined it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't remember the last time I sat down and watched Empire or Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I know, it's been a while, and I need to watch it back. I need to watch back because there's like even just some audible sounds that I just love of those two movies. Just hearing them in the background makes me happy.
Now, we do marathon TV shows.
Yeah.
So that is something that we do marathon multiple times. Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah.
We've been on a kick. We're like, I need to laugh. Like, we've already seen every episode of Parks and Rec,
like
probably 3 times.
Yeah.
So depending on where we're at, or what's going on, or how stressed or we are, or something like that, it's like one more episode of Parks and Rec. Episode 1, and like we already watched them all. I mean, we already know this story, right?
Yeah.
So Parks and Rec is a TV show we will marathon.
Yeah, I will watch Eureka, Warehouse 13.
Yeah, you've done Eureka a few times.
Quite a few times. I just like it. I like it because it's just clean, good entertainment. It's cheesy, it's corny, and I can, and some of them are like, oh yeah, I forgot about this episode because there's so many of them. I think there's 5 seasons, and so you get enough episodes to where you watch it a lot. So I'll do that. There's not a whole lot, that I'll watch, but those two definitely, Warehouse 13 and Eureka, I'll switch between the two.
Yeah.
Almost
multiple times.
Multiple times.
Psych.
Yeah, Psych, Monk. I've done that where I'll wait like a year or two and then I'll watch Monk again, first to last, every single episode, and I'll binge it. Anytime I have free time, I'm watching it. Psych is the same way. Oh, I can watch that over and over and over and over and over again. So I'm sure there's probably some more. I started watching Doctor Who again. Yeah. Because we have it on HBO Plus, which I didn't know until that was really exciting to know that I can go back all the way to Christopher Eccleston's and watch David Tennant again. So that was nice. So I watched quite a few episodes of that the other day, and to hear the theme song come on was really nice. That was really cool. But yeah. Yeah,
so not so much marathoning movies, but we will marathon TV series for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Jeffrey. Final question.
Woo! This is gonna be a long one.
Oh my God! Thank God. Well, I guess thank God. I don't know. It's supposed to be concise. Just fun guitar with the final question, of course.
Yeah.
Hashtag Giant Texas Truck. Hashtag Yes Vlog. Hashtag KTMA. Hashtag RNA. Cool Red Washburn. New question: what animal would be / is the RNA mascot? Well, it's got to be a phoenix.
Dun, dun, dun.
It has to be the Firebird.
Dun, 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 dun. That's why I want a Firebird.
Yeah, from the very beginning. It's kind of funny though, because I didn't think about that when, this was our first T-shirt design, really, or second, but the first one had a big phoenix on it too, and it said RNA Music.
Yeah, it went down the side.
And everybody's like, "Is that an eagle?" I was like, "You'd think, because we're in Canton, and our hometown team is the Canton Eagles. Canton Eagles. It's not an eagle.
Yep.
It's a freaking Firebird.
Big difference.
Freaking Firebird Phoenix. So it would have to be a Firebird. And of course, Angela, her dream car is a 1978 Firebird Trans Am, black and gold, not blue or white or red or yellow. Black and gold, 1978 Trans Am Firebird. So it's gotta be, it's the Phoenix. So I like the symbolism of rising from the ashes, being born again. Yeah. Basically, and no matter what happens, I get knocked down, but I get up again. Rising from the ashes. So, because you're gonna get knocked down in life, obviously. I mean, I think our viewing audience is of an age that like, oh yeah, multiple times. It's like you just keep getting up, just keep getting up, just keep getting up, just keep trying. So I really like the ideology kind of behind that. So Firebirds aren't real birds, unfortunately, but whatever. We have a fictional mascot.
It's cool.
Kind of like the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. The Dallas Cowboys. They ain't no Cowboys.
They're no Cowboys.
The Cowboys suiting up in Dallas?
No.
All the Cowboys are in Fort Worth, homie.
Mm-hmm.
Fort Worth and East Texas. That's where the Cowboys.
True Cowboys are.
That's the real Cowboys. So, anyways, all right. That was the final question. Thank you, Just Fun Guitar. Honorable mention, Walking Dead. He left a bajillion comments. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Walking Dead. And I think it was the first one to actually ask on YouTube, hey,
where is you?
So, you guys okay? Kind of missed the last episode. What's up? So
we're doing better.
We are much better now.
You can probably hear our voices starting to wane down just a little bit. Sorry about that. We've been teaching all day.
And if you made it this far in the video, I'm gonna have a special request. I'm gonna put a link in the description. Well, first of all, link to the Teespring store. Go buy a T-shirt. We had to stop working for 2 weeks. Go buy some T-shirts. That's
help us pay the bills.
Supplement the income. But my student Kaylin, who puts out a song every 3 weeks.
Yes.
She did this last one she put out right before we got sick. Mm-hmm. She only got 3 views.
Aww.
I was like, what?
Come on.
How is that? And 2 of them are probably me.
1, 2, 3.
Because I left her 2 comments. So I'm going to put a link to my student Kaylin. She has an assignment that every 3 weeks she has to write a piece of music.
Oops, sorry.
And shoot a video for it, basically. So there's a little mini music video. It's like music to chill and study to. There's no vocals, really. It's just kind of ambient, relaxing.
It's very nice.
Music.
That
I'm going to put a link to her last video, because she had her first lesson today in like 3 weeks, and I hadn't seen her, and I was like, she's like, I only got 3 views. I'm like, what? She normally gets 20 to 30. Mm-hmm. So 3 is like, whoa, something happened there. So if you guys and gals who made it to this point in the video would do me a solid.
I think it was the sickness.
It could have been.
Across the board.
It could have been the sickness. Mm-hmm. If y'all would do me a solid, in the link of this video, go check out my student Kaylin's song that she just did. Give her some thumbs up. Leave her a nice little comment. I enjoyed the video in this one. I enjoy all of her videos. I think it's great. I'm teaching her like how to record and write music, and there's music for all kinds. It's not always singer, songwriter, guitars and vocals and lyrics. There's music for everything. There's music for commercials. Mm-hmm. There's music for radio spots. There's music for video games. There's music for elevators. There's music for walking through the grocery store.
Phone hold.
Yeah, you're on hold. There's all kinds of music out there, and you can create music that fills one of those niches. And so, but it would really make me happy if you guys would go give her a little bit of
blow her up a little bit.
Yeah, those are rookie numbers. We gotta get them numbers up, Kaylin. So it's the algorithm. I mean, what are you gonna do? But if you guys would go do that, it'd be awesome. And that brings us to this point. If you made it this far in this stupid long video, it's at least 40 minutes, if not 50.
Nice. Part 1
If you made it this far in the video, secret hashtag of the day. Type that with your question and or your comment, or by itself, to let us know that you watched this whole video. Do you have an idea? I do have. All right, hashtag Smarty Pants. Hashtag Smarty Pants.
There
if you
go.
made it this far in the video, we'll know you watched the whole thing.
Okay.
Thank you guys and gals so much. We'll see you next time. Please leave a question for next week. Comment.
I guess next week we'll be having a vlog reveal.
Crap. Yeah. All right. So the consensus was everybody's like, yes, bring back the vlogs. We missed the vlogs. They missed cart cam.
Yeah.
I think they missed cart cam most
of all things.
Of all things. So stay tuned. I'll try this Saturday to shoot a vlog, and it may be very short. It might be like a 5-minute vlog. Who knows? Probably not. It'll probably be like 17-hour vlog. So stay tuned for that. I kind of miss them, and I kind of miss being able to look back. I'll look back from vlogs from years ago and go, oh man, look when we got.
Look how small our dog was.
Look how small our child was. And now they're big.
Look at little Aiden.
They're kind of
he's giant Aiden.
Our own little personal time machines, really. So. Yeah. But the consensus from all you people who actually watch our videos on a regular basis is like, yeah, we like to see that. So we're going to see what we can do. Thank you guys and girls so much. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
You keep alive.
Yes.
What am I supposed to say? Keep the music alive. Don't forget it. The music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need you to need the music, and we need you to stay alive for as long as possible. Please.
Please.
Please. All right.
Take care of yourselves.
Take care of yourselves. Vitamins.
Yes.
All that stuff.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
Tons of water. Because that was big for us.
Water was big. Rest.
Rest and water. Hydration and rest.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye. Firebird.
Caw-caw.
Cacao.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I think the battery's getting low on the...
Oh Lord.